inspire, empower. Grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you, 'cause real women don't bitch. No, real women don't. 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 Real women don't bitch.
Hey, thank you for joining me on the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. I am the #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs because building mental muscle is necessary in order to implement successful business strategies. This show has been created for the woman who is not excuse-driven and needs help building a profitable business. I will be interviewing women from various fields who are willing to break the silence on struggles that specifically affect female entrepreneurs. Welcome to a show where I and guest speakers from time to time share our methods that help us beast our business no matter what is going on in our lives. Whether you are an online or brick and mortar business owner, this show is for you. We will hit every angle, personal, professional, and spiritual. Why? Because on any given day, you get hit with shit from a scenario involving one, more, or perhaps all of the above. It all impacts you and your mindset towards your business. I have made it my personal mission to provide a space where we dive deep into the BS we face on a day-to-day basis. All right now, ladies, what's going on? It's August coming at you. Okay, so look. Question. Why are you doing what you're doing? I mean, I really have to ask, okay? Because, I work with some women in my group, FMB, Fix My Business Mastermind. And sometimes, I know stuff happens. I do. And I know sometimes we can feel like quitting or giving up, but you do reach a point, right, where those kind of thoughts and ideas, they're far few and in between. If you find yourself going through this journey and it seems like it's popping up on a consistent basis of, you know what, I just don't know if this is the right time, or maybe I need to go back and get a job. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be doing this, or you get really frustrated. It just doesn't seem like it's working. And then hold up. What in the world are you doing, and why in the world are you doing it? There has to reach a point where you are so confident that you're supposed to be doing what you're doing. It doesn't matter what it looks like. And we do this with so many things. I mean, if you went to school and you went to go get a degree, were there not times where you were like, oh my God, I don't want to register this semester? If you're working on your body, weren't there times where you're like, oh my God, I don't want to go to the gym? There are things that we don't want to do sometimes, but the question is, what do you still have the courage to get up and do regardless? And when it comes to entrepreneurship, listen, I already understand. I say this all the time. I'm not speaking to any and everybody that's looking for a way to make money. I'm talking to the people who know that God has given them a gift or a talent, and that they are taking that gift and that talent and putting it out into the world as a tool to also make money. You're making an impact, and you should receive the reward for your labor. And so when you say that, you're a healer or a financial coach, or you work with children or with families, or like me, you help other business owners to be successful, you're a fitness coach. I mean, the list goes on and on. You're a health and beauty expert. You're changing people's lives. You're raising the vibration and the confidence in themselves, in their business, in their possibilities, in their families, in their relationships. And then all of a sudden, one day you just want to quit. You are habituated to crying and whining about what isn't working. Why not being habituated to having a high expectation that things are just going to work out? I tell my clients all the time, look, stuff is going to come. It's going to happen. And it's not really about what comes up against you. It's not about what happens. It's about what do you do and what do you think when those things occur. So when things are in your way and stuff's not working out, then the first question you ask yourself is, what can I do? That's not what most of you do. Oh my God, why am I in this situation? Here we go again. It seems like every time I try to move forward, something negative comes and gets in my, okay, well, you already just feed more. You added more fuel to the fire. You're feeding into the narrative. When you start seeing that something's crazy, then you have to ask yourself, what kind of adjustments can I make? But a lot of you aren't going to ask that question if you don't believe. I mean, think about it. When I used to date guys and I'm going out with them and they do something stupid, I'll be like, oh, I ain't calling him no more. I didn't think about having a conversation with him and rectifying the situation because I knew I didn't want to be in a union with him anymore. How many of you ever had those girlfriends? Some girlfriends, when stuff comes up, you're like, we got to talk about this. We got to figure this shit out because something's crazy going on. Versus some of them other people where you was like, girl, I don't even answer her calls anymore because she's cuckoo. There's some things you give your time to and there's some things that you give up on. And it always amazes me how people don't give up on jobs. They will go to jobs that they hate, but they will give up on their vision. And some people say, well, August, but you're not really paying attention and you're not understanding because at least if their job is giving them the money that they need to pay their bills. And that's not even always true either. It's just giving them something that is more predictable and guaranteed. One of the biggest things that I had to learn to enjoy about entrepreneurship was that, I'm like, oh my God, I finally got some clients. Now it's time to renew clients or to get more contracts. And, oh, I got people in my group, but I need more people in my group. Every single month, it was a race. It was a race to be able to say, okay, all right, before these 30 days are up, how many more clients can I get? How much more revenue can I generate through my business? And you know what? It is easy. It is easy to go to a job that you don't like every day for 8 hours because at least you know what you're going to get at the end. You can literally map out your whole life and be like, okay, well, I ain't going to be able to go on a vacation. Or if I do, that means this bill going to be behind and I'm going to make payment arrangements. You can live a dysfunctional life off of not having enough. But when you want to make those kind of decisions where the majority of your money might come at one time of the month and slow down at this time, man, look, I'm going to tell you, there was a time when it seemed like all of my money came between the 1st and the 7th. And I remember it just like tickling me because I was like, dang it. I didn't expect so many clients to sign contracts to pay me around the 1st of the month because that's when the rent is due. But for them, they were like, well, that's when I have my money. I get paid at the end of the month or the beginning of the month, and I'm already going to be paying the rent. I guess their mindset was, oh, well, I might as well pay her too. But I just knew that I was going to get money at a different time frame. Could you imagine when I first started working for myself and all my clients were paying me when the rent was due? If I got to process my rent payment, a lot of times the processing system didn't get their money to me until after my rent was due. So I had to do all kind of little, courses and sales stuff. And, like I said, back in the day, for those of you that knew my story, when it wasn't working because I was still launching, I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to have to drive Uber. And I remember thinking I had it all figured out. If I could just drive Uber and make enough money to pay the rent in advance, then whenever I do get the other money, then I'll be able to start paying my rent 1 month in advance. We be trying to think about all kind of crazy scenarios. And of course, it didn't work like that. But what did end up happening is that my money started getting spread out. But you want to know one of the craziest things that I thought about? Was I always thought about, wait a minute, wouldn't it be nice if I got paid every day? Wouldn't it be nice if money was deposited in my account every day? And I thought about that years ago and never did anything with it. But people that are connected to me, they know that that's one of my affirmations. Money is deposited into my account daily. And that's my expectation. And that's what I strive for. And if I look at my calendar and I look at all of my contracted dates, whether it's $9.99 or whether it's, $1,500, I don't care what it is. Yep. Okay. I'm really close to 30. I'm not at all 30 days. But that's what happens when you start thinking like that. Energetically, you start attracting other things. But you don't think like this, you guys, if you're not really attached to your calling, your purpose. You're always going to figure out how to make something work when it's deeply connected to you. And you'll always justify when something won't work if it was just to make money, if it was just something you were doing for the moment. This entrepreneurial journey is about you realizing that God made you special, that there is something inside of you and there's something that you bring to the table that no one else can do the way that you do it. And when you speak, there are individuals whose lives are really changed forever. I want you all to operate in your gifts, but some of you all need to do some real soul searching, because where you started and where you are right now is not the same place. I remember I was working with this one person and she was a coach and she worked with people and, got them all kind of help with their life and mindset. And I remember she wanted to, launch a fitness program with somebody. And I was like, wait a minute, you just barely started making money in your life coaching business. What are you doing with this? Oh, yeah, well, I'm just trying to, make some more money, do this. I'm like, wait a minute, though. But you haven't got a solid footing with this business right here. Some of you start one thing, you start making some money, and then you start another thing to start making some money. Baby, that's not operating in purpose. That's being a hustler. Now, see, I got some hustle in me, but I'm not a hustler. I am a woman who was created to turn on the confidence in another woman, to shift her ability to practically see and apply techniques and strategies to build a profitable, sustainable business. I am a light to other women. And so when you start asking me to do anything that doesn't align with me accomplishing that thing right there, then guess what? Guess what? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because it doesn't line up with my overall vision. So the question you need to ask yourself is, are you operating from the place of original intent? Not necessarily original vision, but original intent, because the vision is ever evolving, right? When I started, I knew that I was supposed to make an impact. I knew that I did something that brought people clarity and gave them confidence. But I honestly was like, I'm a personal development coach. And then it kind of switched and I'm like, well, since they kept coming to me, I'm a personal development coach for entrepreneurs. It took me a second to evolve into a business coach. It took me a second to realize that I had a signature strategy for sales. It took me a second. And so the vision has been evolving, but there are core things to that original vision about how I feel in regards to affiliate marketing and, academies and stuff like that. So, you can let it evolve and you can let it expand. But some of you guys are doing something that is just completely different, period. So I love you. Take your time to think about it, but make sure that you are operating from a spirit of original intent and not just doing anything and everything to make some money. Because if that's the case, you won't last long in this industry. All right? I love you guys. That's your motivation for the day. It's your girl, August Crenshaw. And if you need any help with those things, go head on over to the site. Learn more about Fix My Business Group, where you can come in there and get the clarity around the stuff that you need so that you can start feeling confident in making money in your business. Until later, I'm outie. Deuces.
Thank you for joining me today. Remember to cultivate a mindset that is biased towards taking action. No bitching, whining, or complaining. Here, our mantra is, real women don't bitch, we get shit done. See you next week as I continue to bring you what you need to keep your head in the game and beast your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Would you like a specific topic covered? Have a question you would like answered live? Then head on over to realwomendon'tbitchpodcast.com. Subscribe to my email list, hit me up, and I got you. Interested in being a guest speaker? You walk the walk? Then you can sign up on the website too. This is your #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs, Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. Signing out. Deuces.
inspire, empower. Grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you.